What's up, man? It's your boy Lynch. I'm back in with another motherfucking video. SFAM stand up, salute, stay focused and motivated. Get motivated up in this jank one time. Trying to knock one video out real quick before household 6 goes to work for the morning and I gotta watch the kiddos. But I'm looking through my Discord and I see my homeboy Voodoo Child 972. Now this, for some reason, is one of the first hashtag SFAM reacts and the link with the video in the Discord that I've seen from him in a long time. But he's requesting us today, y'all, to react to this Army sergeant who says she cannot support and defend the Constitution. Now, this is a commentary with Jameson Travels, right? So Jameson Travels is a retired Marine. I've seen a couple of his videos. I don't watch him too much because a lot of his videos that he watches and comments or reacts to could potentially be something that y'all might request from me. So big up to Jameson Travels for doing his thing. I like Marines. I like the way that he thinks too, you know what I mean? But this is his commentary that Voodoo requested me to react to. Some of y'all are gonna say I'm reacting to a reaction, whatever the case may be. This is what I've been requested to react to from my viewers. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I did something a little bit different this time, y'all. I watched the video first and now I'm doing the intro and giving y'all a pre-insight on what it is. So this Army sergeant is complaining about some of the changes that happened in the military, and she's asking on social media now, this is her TikTok, she's asking, how am I supposed to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, when there's this happening? The freaking military treats females a certain way. They won't allow us to do this. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. They don't support the troops with this. So this is my reaction to it right now, y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Voodoo, thank you for hooking your boy up. I hope everything's going good with your battle. SFAM, stand up, salute, stay focused, motivated. Get motivated up in this jank one time. Let's go.
I'm going to say something, and I'm going to say something real controversial.
How am I supposed to swear to support and defend the Constitution and a country that treats its women like second-class citizens?
The military is like the abusive spouse you stay with. Military recruiters typically get the most recruits in underdeveloped cities, in cities with high crime rates, in cities with...
So I'm just gonna chime in and say I think the only reason why this would be wrong is because this is something that you do before you actually join. Like, you know what I'm saying? The oath that you're taking, you are doing that before you join the military. Like, you know what it was before you join the military. That's why it's wrong. You can't be in, or if you're in and you don't support it, you don't need to be talking about it. Like, have your reason, get out, and then you can talk about it. But you're already supporting and defending. Let me see, man. Let me see.
Get the most recruits in underdeveloped cities, in cities with high crime rates, in cities with high percentages of people of color.
Also, she's talking about recruiters going to these places where underprivileged or whatever the case may be, but it is a opportunity for somebody to get out of that underprivileged situation that they're at. That's where it needs to be. That's an opportunity for them right there. That's something being provided to them. That's where you go. If you're living in a society, there's no jobs and you know what I'm saying, a lot of people are in poverty or whatever, but there's a recruiting office. Why not go to the recruiting office and see what they have to offer in there? If you really want to be smart about the military and stuff, do your research before you go. I think a lot of people don't dig in and do a lot of research before they join the military. They sign the paper, they go. By the way, you can still add MEPS before you swear in. When they say, I solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, if you don't want to do it, just say it right then and there. I don't want to support it. They'll put you back on the bus and take you back to where you came from. That's what I think the issue is going on with her right now. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the whole video, but yeah.
I was just looking at this, trying to get an idea who we're talking about. Is this person grounded in reality?
Army recruiting is very based in racism and classism. We all knew this. We all knew that. But the thing that I want to talk about is...
Now, this isn't the first time I've heard this statement that recruiting's racist. I don't get it. Classist, yeah, because poor kids sign up for the military. That's kind of been an ongoing theme. Like for me, there was a family tradition of joining the Marine Corps. GI Bill was a bonus, but I wasn't a rich kid. I don't know about the classism thing, but I guess we got to...
Sometimes you even catch rich kids who say, I really wanted to serve my country. I wanted to do something for my country. You understand what I'm saying? They go in and do their 3 years or whatever, and they freaking get out. Some people are rich or they're privileged. They join as officers. That's how, you know what I'm saying? They've already been to college. Now they want to join the military. I've never heard about recruiting being racist, but I don't think that's necessarily true all the time. My recruiter was black. You know what I mean? And I do believe in, you know, certain races looking out for the betterment of their race. A black recruiter is going to also try to make sure that they're helping out black kids get into, like, look, you can do this, you can do that, blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't mean they don't help the white kids. Same thing with white recruiters. Same difference, you know what I mean?
The offers that they give you of free housing, free insurance, free food, free college, that's very enticing to young people, especially young people who have never lived on their own and never had to do those things for themselves.
All right, let's move on from the no shit Sherlock moment and get into the meat of it. All right, so let's say you don't agree with something the government does. Now, you're in the military, so you always support and defend the Constitution, enemies foreign and domestic, that kind of thing. You kind of go along with it. Every job's got its quirks. Maybe you just say, I don't like what the government did or SCOTUS did in this case, but, you know, I'm going to accept it. I'm a grown-up. I'm not going to put this on TikTok and jeopardize my career because she just got a meritorious promotion to sergeant. One would think this would be common sense among sentient beings, but let's just keep watching.
I'm very big on think about what you say before you say it. Also, you don't always have to speak on your thoughts. You don't always have to act on your thoughts. In fact, you shouldn't, especially in the military. There's certain things, you know what I mean? Certain things that you think, you just don't speak on it and don't act on it. I've done video about the kid who said he'll punch his drill sergeant. I bet you a lot of freaking trainees feel like that. A lot of soldiers feel like that. That's something that you think. That's something that you feel. They feel like that. But is it a smart idea to actually do it? No. Is it a smart idea to even say that you feel like that or you think that? No. So that's my whole thing about that. She's putting this stuff up on social media. You know what I'm saying? No.
I woke up from a nap to this. On deployment. I woke up from a nap to this news. America is waking up to this news. I just extended my contract to continue serving this country a week ago.
I wonder what she's talking about, man.
How am I supposed to swear to support and defend the Constitution and a country that treats its women like second-class citizens?
All
right, let's stop right there. Agree, disagree with the Supreme Court decision. That whole thing in the military, you're defending the Constitution, and we got 3 pillars, we'll call it, of how it works, and SCOTUS is one of them, but I guess I don't understand why you'd put this on social media, why she thinks it's appropriate. Keep your shit to yourself. Do you want to have a long career? And I don't care what the job is.
And if she signed a contract for a certain amount of time, all of a sudden something pops off that she doesn't want to support and defend, just go tell your leadership. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to put it on social media like this. I had to learn the hard way about social media and posting certain things on social media. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this kind of stuff, to me, I feel like she's using this so that she can get more views and stuff like that, which, I mean, I understand that. Now, if she wants to speak on this kind of stuff, she's in the military. She shouldn't really do it while she's in the military. Like, go ahead and get out and then speak your piece on it. Let's go.
Some days you're not going to like what the leadership does, but you just got to
shut the fuck up.
Hear me out. If this was an officer, she would have a loss of confidence from her senior leadership and she would be gone.
How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to do that with pride? How am I supposed to do that with love and honor?
If that's the way you
feel. Used to be called professionalism. They beat that into our heads. Young Marines be professional. This is anything but professional. I get it. She doesn't like it. I understand. Many things happen in government that military members don't like.
Exactly.
You think this is a good idea. Not expressing your opinion, but doing it in your uniform and then saying, as part of the U.S. military, how am I supposed to defend the Constitution because of something I didn't like?
How am I supposed to wake up every day and put on a freaking uniform that says United States Army when the United States doesn't even give a rat's ass about me?
The same way that you do a lot of things in the Army. You can't sit up here and tell me that you love every single thing that you have to do in the Army. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? But you get up and freaking do it in the morning. I'm pretty sure you don't like every single morning Monday through Friday, you got to get up and do PT if your MOS requires you to. I'm pretty sure you don't like getting up and doing that every day. I know you don't probably like having to sweep this or maybe doing CQ. I love CQ. I love staff duty. Really? Really? Don't love it. I know you don't love every single thing, but how do you support and defend the Constitution of the United States when they treat people a certain way or whatever? You shut up and freaking do it. You just do it. You do your time and then you chuck the deuces, or you don't do it. Just tell your leadership, I'm not down for this anymore. There's things called a deck statement, I think it's called a declination statement. You can decline the rest of your service, whatever. It might not end very well for you, but at least you can chuck the deuces and get out. That's how you freaking do it, man. Or you just shut up and freaking deal with it. Point blank, period. No one said you have to do it. No one said you have to do it. That's you. Everybody in the military nowadays, and for a long time, it's an all volunteer force. It's all volunteer. Nobody's making you freaking do it.
Rat's ass about the are allowed to buy that I'm forced to give birth to.
Let's not overcomplicate the issue with firearms or in the Constitution, but the big issue here, the question of the day is it okay to say you don't support and defend the Constitution because you don't like something government did? Is that an acceptable thing for a newly minted sergeant, NCO in the Army, to say on social media without getting a serious reprimand?
No, it's not. It's okay for her to say it if she's not in the military. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you work directly under the government. That's like biting the hand that feeds you. You understand what I'm saying? That's like, I hate my parents, and all they did was freaking birth you and let you live in this world. I can understand. Well, what she's saying is she feels like they're doing wrong, but you're with them. You know what I'm saying? You can't hate your parents and still live in their house. You know what I'm saying? You're in the military and you're talking bad about the government. Get out of your parents' house. Then you can say, yo, I hated living with my parents because they smoked a lot in the house, or, you know what I'm saying, they never cleaned up or whatever, but you're living there, so freaking get out.
That.
Right.
Oh, that's so funny. This effect on female servicewomen is an unintended consequence, which means that lawmakers and Supreme Court justices probably weren't thinking about this when they wrote their 213 some odd page report on it, right?
Probably were thinking, even if they weren't thinking of whatever the government wants to do, whatever anybody wants to do, they don't necessarily have to think. If I want to write a memo on in my house, when you come into my house, you will sweep the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Do you agree to this? I agree. Oh, now all of a sudden I don't agree because no one else freaking sweeps the floor or whatever. Okay, then freaking get out of my freaking house. Or don't agree to it before you come in. If at first you come into my house and you don't have to sweep the floor, and now I'm requiring everybody to sweep, I don't have to think about what's gonna happen. There's a bunch of people who are already in here who are gonna do it, and if you don't want to do it, you either get out or just carry on that way. Keep doing it anyway until your time is complete, and then go ahead and leave.
I even say that I think she works for the federal government. It's not going back to the states. The feds have different rules in healthcare, we'll call. Let me give you an example. You go to the VA, need to get medical. They won't give it to you because it's against federal law. So I'm trying to understand. Now, I'm getting lost in the road drama, but the big issue here is it a wise idea to say, as a military member, I don't support and defend the Constitution? Of course it's not.
It's not a wise idea to say it.
You're in, you know the deal, and if you don't want to do it, you don't put it on social media, right?
Exactly.
You sit back and go, okay, I'm going to get out of this and do whatever I
choose.
You go. But guess what? Every company, every job is going to have its things you don't like, and this is probably a bad idea. I'm kind of surprised she hasn't yanked this down from TikTok already.
We're not thinking
I wonder if she's
about
been
this
kicked
consequence, but it is one. And it affects the very people.
This could be a part of her plan. Like, I want to get out of this, so this is the way she's going to get out.
Hold to a higher standard because they support the troops. Do you really, though? You really support the troops, even though this is going to greatly lessen the retention of women in the ranks of this military?
Maybe a corporation doesn't really support the welfare of its workers. Maybe there's a corporation that doesn't support the welfare of its workers. You know what I mean? But they're still paying them. They're still paying them. So if the workers want to leave, they can freaking leave.
But the issue is when you say you can't support and defend the Constitution, what happens if tomorrow there's something she doesn't like? Is she going to come out and say, I don't like marriage? It's not part of my belief system. Therefore, I can't support and defend the Constitution. I mean, where does this end with these people? And at some point, you got to be a grown-up. You can't do this kind of shit and think it's okay. I don't care what your job is. When you work for the U.S. military, the DOD, part of the job is supporting and defending the Constitution.
That's what it is.
You support the troops even though you are going to ruin some women's careers?
Oh, God.
I'm deployed right now. And I am a medic, so I know how this works of, like, I have an extremely limited access to birth control.
Any of you ladies out there who are in the military, do you have an extremely limited access to birth control on deployment, any point in time? It's hard for me to believe. You know, I'm thinking here, let's say I'm the top brass. I don't want my ladies having kids they don't want. I'm going to make sure they got what they need to prevent this. I mean, I don't know if this is just drama.
And I don't know when this video was put out, but to me, I was a drill sergeant. There was plenty of freaking female trainees in my freaking units. And if I'm not mistaken, almost all of them had birth control. Or had prenatal pill. They all had prenatal, even though they weren't pregnant. But if they needed birth control, it wasn't hard. It wasn't complicated for them to get it. There's certain things that she's talking about, but there's other things that she's not. There's all kinds of ways that the Army and the military does support its freaking troops and its workers. There's all kinds of ways that they do support. Maybe they're not supported in the way that you like, or maybe there's just a certain thing that they see should be a certain way, and this is how this is going to be. But it's not to say that they don't, period, support the troops. I can guarantee you my leadership has supported so much for me at my last unit and even at this unit. If there's any kind of appointments I need to go on, when there's things that were going on with my kids and my wife, all I did was tell my leadership. I told my company commander, my first sergeant, they let me go do what I had to do from there. And if the Army didn't support them with that, with supporting me, then I could see an issue, but there just wasn't. There's all kinds of ways I've been freaking supported. The Army has made opportunities for me to take my wife and my kids and pay for everything, room and food included. They'd go and say, hey, you can go here. There's classes here that'll help, that we feel like would help your marriage. If you're having issues with your marriage, here's a class. Here's a hotel that they're going to be in. You get a free room. You get free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here you go. Yes, I've been supported in those ways also. So there's a lot of things that I've been supported of that maybe that I don't get supported on everything that I think I need to be supported on. But there's plenty of things that I've been supported on as a troop. So here we go.
Put some shit out like this on TikTok. I don't know. Give me a clue here.
Women in the military are more likely to experience unplanned pregnancies.
Right.
Women, where I'm at right now, you can't even get an ultrasound without traveling off base.
You're deployed. Why would you even think about doing anything like that while you're on deployment? That is not the time for you to be out there trying to have sex and have a kid while you're on deployment. It just doesn't make any sense for you to do that. You're specifically in another country so that you can support our country, or maybe help that country to support themselves. That's why we freaking deploy. We deploy. Our job when we deploy is to go either support our country or support another country to help them support themselves. That's the reason why we freaking deploy. So it shouldn't even be, unplanned pregnancy happened while I was out here. You shouldn't be out there having sex anyway. And if you are, that's something that you're doing. You deal with the freaking consequences. You know that it's a possibility that you can get pregnant if you have sex, right? So you either have sex or don't have sex, and you got to freaking deal with it. You can't get mad at the government because they don't want to support you. And it's not even that they don't want to support you. It's like you said, you have to go to a whole different country in order to get whatever procedures or whatever healthcare that you need. They may not have that in the freaking country that you're at. That's why you don't freaking do it there.
You can't. It happened. It happened, ladies and gentlemen. And I signed.
In the as Forrest Gump would say, shit happens. And let's say she was a young major and tried this type of shit. Loss of confidence in leadership. Immediately she would end up resigning. Look at Lieutenant Colonel Schiller. He had a comment about leadership, and he was summarily gone in the brig. This kind of behavior is not acceptable on any level.
Not,
I get
man.
it. You don't like the law. There's lots of shit that people don't like that are in. They keep their mouth shut. The last thing they ever say is, I don't know how I'm going to support and defend the Constitution because I don't like a Supreme Court ruling. That's where she lost me, and I hope she learns to grow up, become an adult, and keep your mouth shut. You don't like it? That's part of life, honey.
Definitely, man. Jameson Travels is right. He's not saying that she can't not like this kind of whatever the government, you can not like it all you want to. That's fine. But for you to get on social media and blast it out there like that, you know what I'm saying? And when I say get on social media, even just to say it publicly, you know what I mean? If you're out and about in the streets or whatever, you're out in society, you're out in your neighborhood or whatever, you're in your uniform and you ask, how am I supposed to do this? Like, just wait until you get out of the military. Then you can say it all you want. You know what I mean? Say it all you want wherever you want to freaking say it, man.